So let's talk a little bit about Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, and holidays coming up, because they're different. It's COVID. You're going to have to make decisions about how you want to social distance, if you want to social distance, if you want to be in a pod. If you're wanting to do a pod, I mean, what they're saying is that this is going to be many more months. And if you have the opportunity to do a pod with someone who has children that your child plays with and that you get along with, I'm encouraging you to reach out and find people you feel secure with to do a pod. Your child does need interaction. We don't want to go a whole year with your child not interacting, but you got to be as safe as you can possibly be. But pods with limits are working for families. I know someone who, a group of moms got together and they said, we're going to do things this way. And they hired a teacher and they take turns every week. They have a classroom. I think there's 7 kids in the pod. The classroom is set up so that they're at a different house all the different time. They're going to spend the holidays together. And it's their little pod. And I think that that's a great solution. We don't all have that possibility. We just don't. That's not a possibility for everyone. And you're going to have to make determinations. I know Dr. Fauci had said this might be the Thanksgiving that you have your family on Zoom and have Thanksgiving dinner with family across the miles, and don't travel and don't sit around. There's always that thing about, the great feeling of putting your shoes under a table together with people you don't get to see all the time. But I have to say, we've done Zoom meals with people and it's quite enjoyable. You get to have the conversation and check in and everybody eats their food and it's kind of fun. It's exotic, it's weird, it's different. It's something that you can do. I really want to encourage everybody that if you have special diets, that you are already starting to pre-order things that you will need, because we are seeing that there are shortages for things that are specific dietary items, that some weeks they're available and some weeks they're not. I'm not talking about hoarding at all. We don't want to see any hoarding, but making sure that you have the things that you need. Amanda, it looks like you did it perfectly, so I don't think you need to worry. Yes, and I know in the UK the Thanksgiving thing is not a big thing, but it's a big thing here in the United States. But you guys have other holidays, like I'm thinking about Boxing Day and things like that we don't have. I wish we did. But there are holidays coming up, and there are holidays that are today. The subject we're talking about, things that come up in fall of 2020 and how to cope with them. That's what we're talking about today, and managing the stress of that. So, be thinking ahead. Everything in COVID, you got to think just a little bit ahead and have your plan. Implement your plan as best that you can. And like any holiday, you have to be willing to go with the flow a little bit. That things are not always going to work out the way that you wanted. I know for my son's birthday, my son was turning 17 in June, and I ordered his birthday presents a full month in advance. I was like, well, certainly they'll be here by then. But we were having riots on the week of his birthday. So the gifts were coming. The gifts could not get to our house. And he got his first birthday present. It ended up coming around 10 o'clock on the night of his birthday, and everything else came like 2 days later. And you know what? It was what it was. And we found other things to do. But I know if you have a special gift that you want to get for somebody, think a little bit ahead. Order a little bit ahead, because things get wonky, things get weird. So do what you need to do. And then even if you plan ahead and you plot ahead and you order ahead, it may not work out the way that you had planned. Keep a sense of humor about it. Enjoy time together. We all need to get our grateful on, and to remember that we're here. I'm going to get emotional, but I'm thinking about one friend of the show who today is dealing with COVID, and she's been keeping a daily diary, and today's was so painful to read. And she's a wonderful autism mom, Liz Becker. She does the blog and the books, The World According to Matt. And she's struggling right now. She's struggling to be able to breathe and trying to decide when to go to the emergency room. Let's be grateful that we're not there. Let's all think good thoughts for the people who are there. and let's do what we need to do to support them.
Hey, thanks for watching Autism Live. To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.